Hey guys. Alright. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on an autograph book. I've never made one before. I actually haven't watched any videos on how to make them. I just got the idea from my mother, actually. She told me about it, about making one. Because supposedly right now they're pretty popular with a lot of high school students and college students. Most of the time when they're going on holidays, they're graduating from school, they're graduating from college. They go to rock concerts. They go to what are they called? Sorry guys, I'm trying to think here. They end up going to what are they called? Anyways, concerts, that kind of stuff. Hockey games, that's what it was. Hockey games, football games, basketball games, soccer games, whatever it is that you guys like to go to. So I'm going to make a autograph book. This one I'm making for a girl. I want to make another one for a little boy, because mostly it's parents that either go and get the autographs for their kids when they're going to certain events. Sometimes it's kids that go with parents to concerts and games and stuff like that. So I'm making this more towards a kid's album. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a total blank. A kid's autograph book. So when they go and see pop stars and singers and all that kind of stuff, they can get the signatures of their favorite singers, their favorite artists, their favorite players, as I said. So I'm starting with an 8x4 piece of cardstock. Now this is just reused paper that you get from like your packages of your stamps or stencils or any kind of packaging that you get that has a thick cardstock. I pretty much don't buy it because what's the sense of buying it when you can pretty much make it out of whatever your recyclables are. So that's how I reuse everything. So the width is 8 and the length is 8x4. And I did a 1-inch binding. I think that's what can't for some reason come up with the name of that. I can't remember the name of it. I've been sitting here for 2 hours trying to remember the name of that, and I can't think of it for some reason. I feel like such an idiot right now. So you need 1 inch. All I did was, for some of us who don't have the Tim Holtz special ruler, you can either use your craft mats that you get that have measurements and stuff like that on it, or you can use a ruler. You can use anything that has a measurement on it. So you know that it's 8 in length, and then find your center. So 4 would be your center, and then all I did was take from the center line to each side of that line and scored 1/2 inch. And that's how I found my 1/2 inches, instead of sitting here and trying to measure it all out, because I hate measuring. I'm good at it, but I hate measuring. So I pretty much, everything that I make, I don't measure anything unless I absolutely have to, because I just make whatever I make. I usually don't measure my books. I don't measure my papers. I just kind of sit here and I'll put it on top of it quickly. If it doesn't fit, then I know, okay, to take that much off. Pretty simple. It's pretty simple. If you know enough about making things, especially with books and albums and stuff like that, I understand that there's certain measurements that you have, but I find it too confusing and way too long. I'll give you an example. This is not done yet, okay? I forewarn you, it's not done yet. This is a Christmas album that I am making for my parents for Christmas this year. Now, this is the first time I ever made one of these. And I'm telling you guys, oh my goodness, the measurements that goes into making one of these things. Wow. Like, you would need a whole book to understand how to make this. It is simple once you make it. Even though it was my first time making it, I knew exactly what I was doing afterwards. But the way that I thought was, why so many measurements? You know, why not just make it the way you want to make it? So, there are a lot of measurements to go into making this album. I'm not even done showing you yet. As I said, I believe it's a 6x7, 7x6, 6x7. So 6 1/4 by 6 is the width and the length of the album. And I'm not even done showing you. So by the time the entire length of it opens up, it's almost 12 inches roundabout by the time this entire thing opens up. And you'll understand as soon as I open it up as to why this thing has so many measurements. Okay, now the pages aren't set up properly the way I'm supposed to have them set up. Actually, I'm going to show you that quickly. Sorry guys, just give me a second here. I want to show it to you properly. I worked hard on this. I saw the tutorial, I believe it was from Anne's Paper Creations, which is Xenero 1, XENNERO number 1. Not the number sign and 1, just 1. Xenero 1 is who I had seen this from. I watch a lot of her tutorials because she's absolutely amazing how she makes her projects, her books, her albums, like just everything. So I want to give her credit for that. Now, as I said, as I usually say in all of the videos that I do, I know there's tons and tons and tons of videos and tutorials out there of everything. So, when I had made this, I wanted to make something special for my parents. But as I said, this is the first time I had ever made one of these. And the biggest problem that I had was the measurements. Not that I really had a problem with them, just that there was a lot. Now, it took me 3 days to make this book, pretty much. 3 days, because I got so flustered with it so many times. And as I said, once you make it, it's easy to make. It's not really that hard to make. But as I said, it's the measurements that drive me crazy. Like, you know, they're going down to 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch and 3 7/8 of an inch and all that. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, holy crap. Like, this is ridiculous to have to do all these measurements. Why not just make everything normal size? Like, this is like not even 3 1/4 inches. It's like 3 1. 3 1/4, 3 7/8, I believe. Yeah. 3 7/8, just over 3 7/8 of an inch wide. And, like, just the measurements drives me crazy. Sorry guys, I'm gonna get a drink here. I totally forgot about it. Oops. Oh shoot. I apologize guys, just hang on a second. this chair. Alright. Okay, so, oops, I got the wrong way. I just want you guys to see this, because even though it took me a lot to make it, a long time to make it, as I said, it was my first time, and I did not want to mess it up, because I knew it was going to be something that I was going to use. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep an angle here. Didn't realize I was so far over. Okay, so this is my very first time making it. And as I said, the measurements are absolutely crazy for making one of these. So I know what the next one that I'm going to make. My mother wanted to have one that wasn't Christmas. She wanted something where she could put pictures of my grandmother, who passed away last year from cancer. And I know it is Cancer Awareness Month right now, so I kind of want to do something special for that. Because she doesn't have, and she can't find, a special enough album to put my grandmother's pictures in. So she had asked me to make a really nice album just like this for my grandmother. And I'm absolutely sorry I get a little teary-eyed. So I want to make it really special. If some of you have, that are watching this, have looked at my Facebook group page, some of you may know that I didn't have a very close bond with my mother for the last 2.5 years. We pretty much stopped talking due to something stupid. I didn't even know what it was anymore because it was so long ago, you know. But anyways, I had, today is now, well, it's almost 12 midnight on Saturday night. Or sorry, Sunday night. This is Sunday. So it's almost midnight. And yesterday was my birthday, so I can say it was yesterday, because it is just going on midnight. So yesterday was my birthday on the 15th. And a very special, not really a surprise. I knew that she was coming, but my mother and I had just started talking last week, again, for the first time in 2.5 years. And the best gift that I ever got from her or from anybody was her to come over on the day of my birthday and spend the day with me. And we didn't even talk about anything about in the past, about things that happened to us or anything like that. Because it was my birthday, she had brought me a whole bunch of craft supplies. Because she can't craft anymore, because she has arthritis issues and a lot of health issues, so it keeps her from crafting anymore. So I guess I carried on the family tradition, I guess, of crafting. Sorry guys, I don't know why my screen is blacking out on me. Shouldn't be when I'm recording. So yeah. She came over yesterday and we sat and we did crafts for 6 hours straight. And she showed me a lot of techniques that I actually haven't seen done online, because they're things that she knew of when she was a kid. So a lot of really special things that I've learned that I'm going to show you guys in other videos that I do and stuff. And she had taught me a lot of things too. So it meant a lot for my mom to be here yesterday. And Mom, if you're watching, I love you. And thank you so much for the special day yesterday. I loved it. Yes, she is subscribed to her channel. Sorry guys, trying to keep my cat down. She is subscribed to our channel, our group, sorry, and to my YouTube channel, along with a few other family members. They've all subscribed to my YouTube channel and to my the new name of our group is Friends of oh gosh, I can't even remember. Goodness, I changed it and I can't even remember. But anyways, it's the same as Friends in the Creation of Art Studio. But I've changed it, the name of it. and I, for some reason, am drawing a total blank. Friends in the Art of Journaling. Something like that. Anyways, I'll put a link down below so that you can get to that. So, anyways, long story short, yeah, she showed up, and it was a good day. It was a very good day. My mother-in-law was here, my husband, my daughter, and my grandsons were all here, and it was really nice having my mom here. It was a good day yesterday. I'm so happy that I had that moment. So yeah, anyways, I'm just going to show you the album here. As I said, that I made the first time. Now it is magnetic. There is a magnet there that holds it closed. As I said, this is not completed yet. There's still a lot of work that has to be done to this. So it's in, I believe, right now we're in the second stage of finishing it. I call it 1, 2, 3 stage. The one is the beginning of making oh my goodness. I am drawing a total blank today. With everything, I can't think straight anymore. One I call is making the actual book itself. The skeleton is what I call it. This is the skeleton. And then stage 2 is pretty much putting your pages in. And this is how it opens up. So stage 2 to me is putting your pages in, your signatures, everything that you're going to do is putting them in. And then when you start putting your pictures in and your decoration, your ephemera and your flowers, your whatever you're going to put, and all that is stage 3 to me. So you're completing the book. So I have 1, 2, 3 stage. So that's how I do it. So as I said, this is not done yet, but there are 2 signatures. I have one here and I have one here. And it makes up 6 pages on each side. So it makes a total of 12 pages, but altogether there are 24 photo mats. That's all I made it into, so I wanted to keep it simple, but as I said, I'm not done with it yet. There's still a lot that I have to do, because it does mean so much to me to do this for my parents. So, okay. So long story short, I'm just going to get on with this because we were making something else. I will do a tutorial on this, on how I made mine, because of the first time of my making this. As I said, I had watched the tutorial from Zanero, and it was so easy. She's so easy to learn from. Amazing, very talented woman. I'm so blown away by the things that this woman can make and create. Like she creates houses and castles and stuff like that out of papers and makes them into books and stuff. But you just gotta check her out. Her page is Anne's Paper Creations. So yeah. So if you want to check out something really neat, go check her out, please. So as I said, this is a Christmas album that I'm doing for my parents. And it's not complete yet. It's right now in stage 2. So, as I said, there are 6 pages here, 6 pages here, and in a total of 12 pages, but you have 24 photo mats so far. And as I said, I'm not done with it yet. There are still pockets that I have to make, that I've made to put in more photo mats. So 24 plus 1, 2, 3, 6, 12, 34, 36. Enough for 36 photos in total, if I don't add more to it. I'm still thinking of adding more to it. But I'm also thinking too, even though the book is pretty wide, I'll show you why it's kind of sticking in a minute, why it's doing what it's doing when I close it. But as you can see, with the width of it, there's still lots and lots and lots of room in there. Tons of room in there for you to add tons and tons and tons of pictures. And this thing is so light. It's so light. I love this thing. I have always wanted to make one of these. I just didn't know how, and I always thought that it was too frustrating and too hard for me to do. Now, as I said, when I made this, I had made quite a few mistakes with it, but I grinned and I bared it, and I kept moving on, so that when I do my next book, I'll know what it is that I made the mistakes of. Okay? So, anyways, let's get to the inside of it quickly. As I said, there's a pocket here. I'm going to put a pocket here for photo mats, for little pictures. There are pockets here, which are going to put another photo mat or two. I might even put two more in there because I know she has thousands of pictures of the family. So I want to have tons and tons and tons and tons of photo space for her. Now, as I said, I wanted to keep it simple. There's still a lot more I want to do to it, but I don't want to go extreme with it because she will be adding photos and her own things because she is the kind of person that does do crafts. So she might add like her own flowers or paper for her to write on, and like I know these pockets are going to be stuffed. They're going to be stuffed with pictures. So, as you can see here, this is a line of Christmas paper that I got from Colleen Kingham Casey. She's in our group. She had sent me a whole bunch of beautiful, beautiful supplies of craft supplies, sorry. And I ended up getting this, I bought this Christmas line that she has, and they're old antique papers. A lot of it is what you see of how it was, but I kind of went in and sanded it with actual sandpaper, with not mild, what is it called? Fine grit sandpaper, very fine, so that you kind of get the texture, because what I wanted was something that looked antique, because she does love antique look. So I sanded it down, and the reason why you see the tape lines here too, as I said, I did it because I want it to look antique. I want it to show that it looks like it's been worn, it's been used. I didn't want it to look brand new. If I wanted to do that, I'd create another book to do that, which I will do that. But for this one, I wanted to do an antique Christmas, just because the paper that is on it, the actual decorative paper, it is antique Christmas paper. So I wanted to stay with that theme. That's what gave me the idea of doing an antique photo album. So, here, as you can see, like it's just beautiful, beautiful paper. Gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Beautiful paper. And all I did was take my Wink Estellas and those Crayola, if you've been watching my videos. Where is it? Oh, I can't find them now. Of course not. I just wanted to show you guys some quick tips. Oh, here it is. So if you go to Walmart, these are your shaky, what do they call them? Your shaky sparkle pens. I call them just sparkle markers. They're kind of like a marker. Very, very thick tip on the top there. But you shake it, there's a ball inside the end there, and it's like gel. It's exactly like, it's identical. If anything I can say, it's identical to a Wink Estella. The stuff that's inside, the fine, minute, microscopic glitter is inside. And it's just, oh, it's gorgeous. I love these. I'm so in love with these. If you can see that, how gorgeous and sparkly that is. Let me show you here, so it looks a little better. And that's good design you get from it. So it's just beautiful, and they come in 6 different colors: red, yellow, green, blue, and red, yellow, green, blue, and I forget what the other 2 are. I can't remember. Sorry. But if you have been watching my tutorials and my videos, you know that because I love my Wink Estellas, that it took me 3 months to find something like these. I never knew these were out. If I did, then I would have used them a long time ago. I've only had these for about 2 months now, and I've pretty much used up most of them because I love them so much. Because they are exactly like a Wink of Stella, but they have the thicker end. So all I do is take my old Wink of Stella, which would be this one, because it doesn't work. There's nothing left inside of it. The black I've used so much, it's bone dry. There's nothing. I tried everything to get this thing to work again, and it wouldn't work. So anyways, long story short, all I did was take the tip of my Wink of Stella, brush it into the actual pen, and it's just very stiff. It's not like a foamy, like it's gonna collapse. It's very, very stiff. And then, let's see what you guys see here. As I said, it takes it a few times to have to go over it, but when you shake it and you push down on the tip here, when you push down on that tip, so when you're standing it like this, so when you're standing it like this, you push down, and the more you push down, you'll see here in a second, there's more liquid that comes out. There's tons and tons and tons of liquid that comes out. It's just amazing how much is in there. So all you do is do that, and then you dip your brush back, your old Wink of Stella that you're not using anymore, back into it, and you go over whatever it is that you want. It does take a little more work. It doesn't work just as well as a Wink of Stella because it is something you're putting on something else to use. So it's a little bit more work to do, but in the end, it's so worth it. It's beautiful. I love these things. And these I found in the kids section at Walmart. They are not in where you go like when back to school happens, where you get all your pens and your pencils and your markers and everything. These are not in that section. These are in the kids craft section. Okay, just a word of advice. So if you go looking for them, then you know where they are. Okay, so that's all I did with the decorative part here, is just like that. And that's all that is that exact same marker. Is those two, that marker that I just showed you. That's all that is. And look at how gorgeous it is. It's just beautiful. So that's what I wanted to do. I kind of did it with the Santa too, but I don't know, I'm not too sure about how I like the way he turned out, so I'm going to see if I can fix him a little bit, see what I can do. Okay. So then, as I said, there's pockets, a pocket here, and then there's a pocket here on each one. Okay. So you put more photo mats in there. Lots more photo mats. This thing is probably going to be able to hold probably 75 pictures by the time I'm done with it. That's a lot. A lot. Sorry guys, hang on. So yes, that is a lot that will hold. I gotta keep making sure I'm in frame here. There we go. Okay, so as I said, this is all Christmas paper, antique old Christmas paper that I had gotten from Colleen Casey. She does have her own craft group. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Colleen's Crafty Kazaz, I believe, and she has her own page. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Colleen's Crafty Kazaz. Ooh, I don't know what that was. Sorry, hang on guys. Knocked something over here. Colleen's Crafty Kazaz. So yeah. Here's the second pages. And as I said, there's room there for more photo mats. And then I did some pockets here. Like, I just love this paper. I love it. And as I said, I antiqued it a little bit more. As I said, I went over it with fine sandpaper, just to get a little bit more oldness to it. There's another pocket here. You can see. There's another pocket there that I made. Just for tags, because I am going to make some Christmas tags for her too, so. And then this one has a very big pocket. Can't see it, sorry. Got only so much space to work here. There we go. So here you can see, this one has a very big pocket, so it'll hold, I believe, maybe 4 by 4, 5 by 5. Probably hold 5, yeah, around, I'd say 5.5, 4, oh my goodness, 5 by 4.5 for your pictures, because most people cut their pictures down a little bit anyway, so that's what I was looking at. So again, this is another pocket. There's another pocket there, where I'm going to be adding 4 more photo mats. Let's get on with this. Take too long. Okay, so as I said, blank paper, more pockets, beautiful paper again. Remember, I'm not done with it yet. More paper here. Very nice, beautiful paper. It's almost like leather. It feels like leather. So I wanted to put something a little masculine in there for my dad. Excuse me. Another big pocket here. I ended up putting it on the wrong way. I didn't want it put on this way. I wanted it put on this way, facing the pocket facing that way. I wasn't paying attention when I did it. Now, as I said too, with the sanding, I wanted for you to be able to see the tape, for you to see that it looks old, it feels old. You know, that's the look that I was going for. So that's the reason why you see the tape coming through and stuff like that, because that's the look that I was going for. Antique to me is pretty much holes in the paper, and you know, like I can go more with that if I wanted to, but I just stayed with as basic as I could. I'm fighting it because I want to do more and more and more to it, but I'm trying to keep it basic. Again, another pocket here. So it's a fair size. I can stick 2 fingers in there, right on top of each other, so it's a fair size pocket. So it's going to hold a lot of photos. Again, another photo mat pocket. More paper. More paper. And then this one looked like, it was just completely red. If you can see the red there underneath. It was just completely red, and it just looked like somebody just kind of went over it once with sandpaper. So it was barely scratched. Not really scratched, but it looked sanded. Not that it was, but it just looked like it. That's the way the paper was made to look. So I decided to make it, I didn't realize where I had put the tape on the actual photo mat itself. I didn't realize exactly where I had put the tape. So when I had started sanding, the tape started coming through, and I thought, oh my goodness, it looks like a fence, an old, rickety, kind of broken down fence, you know? So that's the look that I went for, and I love it. I love it. This is one of my favorite pages. I just love it. It looks like a fence. It looks exactly like a fence because of that tape there. So, as they say, some crafters will say, when you're creating stuff, sometimes you have accidents. But sometimes they turn out to be good accidents, and that's what this was a good accident. Because I never meant to go that deep, but I just loved it so much, I decided to go deeper and deeper, and I love it. This is my favorite page. Again here, same thing. Some of the pages looked like they were a little, like, new looking. This one looked like pretty much new but antique looking, so it just looked like it came out of a book. And I didn't want that. That's the reason why I sanded it. That's why I did the antiquing that I did. Now with a lot of the pages, I'm going to go over them with tea bags. I just have some tea bags here that I use. I just leave them in a bowl. I refresh them every 2 days. I'll take a couple and put fresh ones in. And then, sorry guys, I don't know why, but my screen is going black all the time. So I can't even see what it is that I'm looking at sometimes. I have so much stuff on this desk. It's crazy. Alright, so. Okay, so as I said, more foil mat pockets. Still enough room, you can fit 2 or 3 of them in there. Like, these pockets are a fair size, and they're strong. I made them strong. All of my books that I make are strong. Okay, like, I've shaken this thing so many times because I was so worried it was going to fall apart, because this is my first time, as I said, making the hidden hinge system, I guess they call it. I guess whatever it's called, something like that, where you attach your pages just like this, you know, with a little flap that goes up inside the actual pocket. So I love it. I love it. It's a fantastic idea. Yeah, so I stayed with that. Again, another pocket here, fair size. Like, I'm sticking my fingers right through. I'm putting my whole hand through, and like, there's still tons of space there to put lots of photos, and it's just gorgeous. I was a little afraid. I was not very happy with it for a couple of days, because I thought, well, it needs more. There's more that I need to do to it, and I didn't know what. And my family kept saying, no, leave it the way it is. Leave it simple. But I don't know how to be simple when I create. I like a lot of stuff on things that I create. So this project alone was very hard for me to do, because I usually load things, not flowers and everything, but I load it with pictures and, you know, stamping and stuff like that, and ephemera and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, she's still not done yet, but she's turning up. But yeah, I've debated a lot with this book. I have struggled with it because it is something that I'm not used to doing. Not only the book itself, making the book itself, but the actual pages of having to keep things simple, because it is something that my mother is going to be using and putting a ton of photos in. So I can't add a whole bunch of embellishments and stuff like that. I have to keep it simple, and it's killing me. So there we go. As you can see, this is my little booklet here, my album that I made for my first time. And as I said, I'm not going to do a tutorial on it, because I know you guys know how to do it. I just want to show those of you who do, whatever you decide. Maybe you want to watch me doing it. I don't know. I don't know if you do. I just want to make a video on it. So, yeah. So here we go. That's done. And they all just fold into each other. That is how simple this book is. And the reason why it catches when I do close it up is because of this this pocket that I put here. I didn't realize that it was sticking up as much as it is. It sticks up a little bit right here, so it catches on the next one that I'm putting down. So, yeah. So I'm going to have to figure something out for that. And they all fold inside one another. Actually, I did it backwards, but oh well. So there you go. So there's your album. That's your album, guys. And as I said, I'm going to do a video on it. Not a tutorial. I just want to do a video on it so that I can show how simple it actually is. Just because of the way that I measure, instead of, maybe you're somebody who doesn't want to measure the way that it has to be done with these. Maybe you don't really know how to measure, or you just hate measuring, or whatever the reason is. I just want to do a video for people who may find my videos easier to understand, because I have had a lot of ladies say that your videos are very easy to understand. you stop and you give tips and stuff like that all the way through your videos, and they like that. So that's just how I am. I don't mean to do it. It's just when I'm doing something, I'm thinking, oh, they'd like to know that, whether you know it or not. I don't know. I don't know if you know most of the things that I do. I don't know. I don't really care if people know how to do it or not. I'm not doing it to show everyone. It is being done to show kids or adults of any gender or any age to know how to do something that's easy to do. It might look complicated, but I did it. So I'm doing it for anybody who's interested in watching me do it in my own corny way. I don't stick by the rules when I'm creating stuff. I don't go by rules very well. I like to take my time doing stuff. I know my videos are long, but that is because I don't know how to edit. I did it one time and I messed it up, and I'm not doing it again until someone can actually sit and talk to me and teach me how to do it. So that's why I don't edit. So if you find that I'm, like right now, I'm sitting here and yammering and you don't want to hear me, then fast forward it, okay? So, getting back to our autograph book. Sorry guys, just need a drink. Okay. So, back to the autograph book. You're going to need an 8x4 piece of cardstock. It's not very thick, it's not very thin, just enough to hold it. But what I'm going to do with it afterwards is going to make it even more stronger. Okay, and then you're going to take a little bit thicker of a cardstock, I find, because it will hold this together more. This is your hidden hinge system. Who it came from, I don't know. I know there's a woman out there that claims that she came up with it, but I know she didn't. It's been around for a long time. So anyways, I have here written, I made this, is that right? No, I didn't make that 8 inches. Did I? No, there's no way. Sorry guys, I just looked at my rating here to make sure that I got everything right. There's no way that's 8 inches. That's 4. It's not supposed to be 8. It's 4. Alright, so you're going to need a thicker piece of cardstock for your hidden hinge system. Now, when you're making it, you are going to go by the simplest way that I did this. Instead of sitting there and doing all the measuring that everyone does to do one of these, I just figured it out myself. It ain't that hard to do. Take the width of your binding, your center of your binding, okay? You know that that's 1 inch, okay? Put it down, put your paper down, measure your paper for the 1 inch, add 3 inches on that. So you're going to make this 4 inches in total. You are going to make your cardstock piece 4 inches in total, okay? And when you do that, you're going to score, okay? Because it is only a 3 hinge. I made it a 3 hinge, okay? So you are going to take it and you are going to score 1/2 inch the entire way. So I'm just going to show you quickly. Now for those of us, some of us may not have a scoreboard. Simple thing to do, put it on top of a good mat. I'm sure you have a good mat. If not, use a piece of glass, use a piece of, what are they called? Those, it's almost identical to this, but it goes on your counter. You know, for when you're making toast and sandwiches and stuff like that. That thing. I forget what it's called. Okay? So, just something that's going to be strong enough so you don't cut through your tape, or your table and your tape, oh my goodness, I have tape on my brain. So you don't cut through anything on your table and ruin anything like that. So, pencil, nope, not pencil. I'm looking for my blade. I have like so much markers and stuff here, guys. It's unbelievable. I can't find anything anymore. My parents have brought over so much stuff, and it's a good thing. I'll actually show you in my next video that I actually reorganized my room finally. It's finally reorganized, guys. And I do have a little bit more space, but it's kind of gone now since my parents visited and gave me some more stuff. It's crazy. Oh, there it is. Alright, so, long story short, I'm yammering on here. As I said, I do that a lot. You don't like it? Fast forward. Sorry. Alright, so all you're going to do is most of your mats here, they have measurements. Most of them have measurements. Almost all of them have measurements on it. So, you're going to take your piece of paper, do your measurement. I'm only showing you it this way because it's easier for me to cut this way. So maybe I'll just turn it and make it easier for you. Okay? So you're going to take your paper and move your stuff out of the way. Okay? You're going to line it up however far it is you want it. See, I don't do it this way, so I have no idea what I'm actually doing. I apologize, guys. You're going to find your straightest line, line it up. I'm talking about a scoring tool, and I've got a blade. Oh my goodness. Where is it? Where is it? I'm looking. See it? I lose everything, guys. It's crazy. Alright, so you're going to score. You're going to score. Okay? That gives you your line. Okay? Nice, simple line for you to fold. Okay? And as I said, use your mat because it has all your measurements on it. We all know what 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 inches is. Okay? That's why I'm making it simple. I'm not making it complicated. I hate complicated. Anyways, okay? So that's all you have to do is score every ½ inch. On your score mat, yes, I have a mini score mat. I'm stuck with a mini score mat because the price that they want for a score mat, a scoreboard, whatever you want to call it, is $30 for the bigger size. That's half my budget. I can't afford a $30 score mat. I can't. I want one, but I'm stuck with this. I can't find one cheaper, so I'm stuck with this. I'd rather spend the money on getting more crafts and supplies than spending $30 on one mat. It's crazy. I come up with my own ways of having to try and figure everything out without me having to go out and buy the expensive stuff, because I don't believe that. Anyways, I hope that you guys really like these videos that I do, because I'm giving you so many cheap, I'm sorry to say this, cheap-ass tips, because I'm cheap. Alright, so, we're moving on here, because I'm yammering on too much, and I apologize for that. Alright, as I said, it's after midnight now. It is now no longer my birthday. Or the day after my birthday now. No, I'm not telling you how old I am either. I don't need to do that. Alright, so, as I was saying, your hidden hinge is going to be 4 inches long, okay? And then you're going to score it at ½ inch, okay? And when you do, look it up for the entire binding of doing this, because I had already did it. I know I should have waited, but I will show you that in my next tutorial on how to actually make the album that I had showed you that I had made there, the Christmas album. Sorry guys, I'm kind of losing my voice here. So I'll show you how to do that in the next tutorial that I do, which will probably be in about a day or two, because I kind of need a break from that album. I'm getting overwhelmed by it because I've been working on it for like almost 2 weeks now. Yeah, almost 2 weeks. So, yeah, as I said, I'm slow. I take my time doing everything. Sorry. Alright, so, your hidden hinge. 4 inches long, score at ½ inch the entire way. Now, if you're someone who doesn't want your edges like this, your little tiny edges hanging over a bit, trim them, okay? So then you're going to put the entire thing fits right inside. Okay? So if you're someone, as I said, that doesn't want, I'm going to try and do this without my bad nerves shaking all over the place. Okay? So, if you trim them, then you have it fit exactly in the center. Because I know some ladies don't like that extra hang. I don't like it either. That's what I learned in the album that I made. I don't like it. I like that. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to ink it first. Because you can if you want. If you're someone who doesn't like the blank there, you can either do it now, you can ink it, you can do whatever it is that you want to do with it. Put your thin piece of paper in there right now if you want. It's up to you. It's totally up to you. Me, I'm just moving on. I need to move on. Because this is taking too long. I should have been halfway done this already. But as I said, my videos are long. I yam around a lot. Okay, now I know most of this is not even going to be seen, so I'm just inking it for the heck of it. Because I want to. Because that's me. And that's what I want to do. Alrighty. We're all inked up here. Looking good, looking good. God, I love black. Alright, so now we're going to desperately try and peel off this tape. If you feel safe and you want, put a little bit of your Eileen's tacky glue down. Now because this double-sided sticky tape that I have sticks like instantly, even if I was just to touch it, it's going to stick to something that fast. And I don't want that to happen. Because I've had that happen too many times, and I try and whip the paper up, and it won't come up. So, I didn't go too far over there, and I came over too much. But that's okay, she dries clear. As I said, I don't care, because it's all going to be colored. And I'm doing, just because I put way too much, this is what I do to thin it out and make it dry faster, because I have to, so that it's not a big mess. My hands are still dirty. Now you want to center it. See, that's the reason why. It's pretty much stuck already. Yeah, I could have put a piece of paper down. I could have done whatever. I could do it right now if I wanted to. Actually, I might. Find a piece of decorative paper. Give me some decorative paper. I like that. I like that. I like it. Trying to do this as quick as possible. Sorry, guys. Good enough. That's another reason why I like using glue. Because I can quickly pull it back up if I have to. scissors. I'm always losing those things. My favorite scissors, and I'm constantly losing them. Yes, I know I should have done this before, but oops, I didn't think of it. There we go. This is how I work on. You know? I find it so much more rewarding when you work like this. You're not stuck to having to do measurements and all that other fun stuff. Because I change my mind so often, you know, constantly changing my mind when it comes to making stuff. I can't stick to reading something and, you know, I'll watch a tutorial if it's something like I said with the album there that I made for my parents. If it's something like that, yes, I actually had to sit and watch the entire video to learn how to make it and to pause it numerous times to do it because it was my first time doing it. So, let's move on here. Just a little bit. Ooh, I just had a deja vu moment, guys. I feel like I just sat here and I've done this before, not meaning like a few minutes ago. I mean like, some other time in my life. I believe in that, eh? I don't know if you guys do, but I do. I also believe in spirits. I have to because I've seen a lot of them all of my life. Sorry to say this, but no shit, guys. No shit. I apologize for saying that, but when it comes to stuff like that, it's kind of creepy, but an amazing experience at the same time. Okay, so now, lose my bone folder. Always lose my bone folder. As I said, nice and simple, nothing complicated, no 10 different measurements for one thing to create. It just drives me nuts. I mean, I understand the women that make these things, and they're gorgeous. Gorgeous, 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 the way these women make these things. These books and these albums and all those beautiful, beautiful things that they make, but I don't have the patience to just sit there and do it for hours and hours and hours and hours, because when I start something, I'm dying to get it done so I can see what it looks like. So it drove me crazy for an entire week while I was making that album to see what it was going to look like by the time I was done with it. Sorry guys, I'm just going to kind of tidy up a little bit here. I've just got like a ginormous mess of stuff. I got my punches out, I got jewelry, broken jewelry out, I got tags out, I got Mod Podge, I got punches out, I got my crocodile, whatever you call it. Like, my table is loaded here with stuff. Alright. So we are now completely on there. Now what you want to do also is you want to flip your, what do they call them, the mountains. So these are your valleys right here. So the first lip here is your valley, and this is your mountain. So the flip where the page is going to go on, that is your mountain. So they're called mountain and valleys. So valley, mountain, okay? So you want to flip your mountains over, and you want to keep scoring them as much as possible without ruining them, of course. You want to keep flipping them over the opposite direction and keep scoring them, because what you're doing is you need to loosen up the I almost forget what the heck is inside there, whatever it is that holds all of the paper together. You know, you're turning, you're making that book go the direction that you want it to go when those pages go on. Short and simple. Okay? So if you don't do this a few times, then your pages will not get used to doing that. So they're going to be stiff, and you don't want them stiff. So go over each one a few times. You have to crease into it just to make it remember that that's where you want it to go. Actually, by doing it this way, I'm noticing that my lines are more straighter up and they're folding much easier now. Okay? So that was another good tip to do, is to go right along the edge of your bindings, your mountains. Okay? And scroll right along that mountain to get that baby in there. Push that paper in there to remind it that you want it to bend back and forth like that. Okay? So much easier. Much, much easier. Now I've already bound it with all of my tape. Okay? Both sides of it have my tape on it already. Double-sided tape. Okay. I don't care which way it is right now. And this is a mat that I was thinking of doing. And because I don't have my actual pages made yet in my pockets, I've just kind of, because this was 2 extra pieces of paper left over from this. So all I wanted to do was like, oh, there we go. There's a little pocket that I can make. As I said, I don't think ahead of what I'm going to create. It just comes to me when I'm creating it. I don't stick by the rules. I don't follow rules. I don't do that in my group either. In our group there. God, I can't believe still can't remember the name of it. So anyways, just trying to think here. I wanted to get some paper. So I'm looking for some paper. We made some perfect paper. Look at that. It's one of many beautiful flowers that my mom had given to me. Because this is going to be for a little girl, or a young teenage girl, after I create one of these, I'll be putting it up on my another 3 groups that I'm in that sell your crafts, your books and stuff like that. Anything that you create, you can sell them on their page. So I put them in there. Some of the things that I have created, I'll put them on there. So when I do that with this, as I've stated with my other stuff, if I can remember the name of the groups of where my things are for sale, I would tell you, but I'm going to have to put that in the description below. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. But when... I can't remember what I was talking about. This is a lot of paper that my mother had given me. Really nice hearts too. Because she did a lot of scrapbooking too. Nice hearts. Beautiful. Really gorgeous papers. These especially. Just stunning. I don't know where she got them. She can't remember where she got them. They're like some kind of a scrapbooking store, but they're like, kind of like wrinkled paper. That's what they look like. this one looks like the crackle paint. This is beautiful paper, and they're all in different colors. This is beautiful, beautiful paper. All different kinds. Gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Sorry guys, I'm just looking for some paper. That's all I'm doing. I got so much paper here, I don't know what to pick. I don't even know what color to go with. That's a night. Trying to stay as simple as possible because it is something that you're going to be using for autographs. I think maybe this book is going to be called like a pop star. Sorry guys, I'm still hoping. hate picking papers. Very nice. Okay. I think I found the paper I'm going to start with. Go from there. Because I have to keep remembering that it is an autograph book. So I don't want the pages busy. I need something that's going to be able to be signed on. I have to remember that. But I need to first, which I keep forgetting, have to make my photo mats or my actual pockets first. Which I'm just going to do. This is another neat little thing that she gave me. Nice little, I don't know what they're called. I forget what they're called, but you know what I mean. One of these chopper things, paper cutters. So, I want, just, as I said, measuring the way I measure. Okay. So, just the way I measure. I know it takes longer, but so you are going to need 3.5 by 3.25. 3.5 by 3.25. That's not going to fit there. Of course not. Sorry I'm so quiet, guys. Just trying to get this done as quick as possible without chopping my fingers off because both edges of this are sharp. Alright. Like I said, fast forward. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I can, but I have what sounds like waterfalls in the background here. It's on really, really low, so hopefully you guys can't hear it too much. It's on really low anyways. It just helps me. It's actually recording from my shower so that I wouldn't do any kind of copyright or anything like that with using waterfall sounds from the internet or anything. So I just did that because I need to have the sound in the water. It keeps me calm, it keeps me focused better, so that's why I do it. I'm a type of person that can't stand silence. Silence is deadly to me. I'm terrified of silence. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like loud noises in the background or anything either, but I like having some kind of a sound. A waterfall sound, the sound of a fan, something. The silence is very eerie to me. As I'm sure it is to a lot of people. They say, actually, I saw a study. I can't remember where it was. I saw a study on YouTube one time that they put someone into a silenced, soundproof room for a few months, or sorry, for about, I think it was 2 days or something like that, and within the second day he was going insane, because the silence, there was absolutely no sound whatsoever, none whatsoever. So the only thing that you could hear is anything that you had done. It's a little creepy. Quite creepy. Another thing I'm going to show you guys sometime is, I don't know if some of you may have never heard of it. I don't know. But you know the Sizzix machines that are out right now that are huge and popular, and they're gorgeous, they're fun, you know, all that. Well, the very first year, I believe, that they came out with them, I will show you what it looks like. And oh my goodness, this thing is old. It's from actually 2002. I believe is when they came out. I don't really know, but it's that old. But it's amazing. It's still in excellent condition. My mother had given it to me for my birthday. Now I know that everyone knew that I wanted a Sizzix for my birthday. The new version, of course. But unfortunately I didn't get it, so because of where we live here in Canada, we actually have to order it off online, because the one that Michael's carries, the cheapest one, is $120, and I guess my husband refused to pay that much for it, so I've seen them much half that price online. And I'm not looking for the big expensive one to do a million things with. You know, I'm a first time user of it. Eventually, down the road, years from now, when I'm good at it, and I know what I'm doing and everything, I will eventually get the bigger, better one. But right now, I have no idea what I'm doing with them. So, I just wanted the cheap version, like the actual cheap one, the one that's like $60, $60 or $70, I can't remember. But yeah, Michaels and nowhere else carries it. So, the one that I have is from 2002, I believe is when they first came out. I don't know, as I said, I didn't look it up really. But it is the very first version. It's so amazingly old. It's nothing like the original. Or sorry, it's nothing like the ones that you buy now. It's nothing like that. It's an actual thing that you do this with. This is how you get the pressure. You push a thing down. So, you know, pretty old. But I'm happy. The only downfall is that there's not a whole lot of things that come with it. Like dies and stuff like that. The only thing that my mother had was one that was the alphabet, which is gorgeous. They actually are really gorgeous. I love the alphabet one, the alphabet set. And the numbers, and a couple of like question marks and exclamation marks and stuff like that. Like, this thing is so amazing. And I had looked it up online yesterday to see if you can actually, because it took me 2 hours to find the actual thing that it is, because it's so old. Now, if you go onto the Sizzix website, they don't even show this version because it's so old. But you have to go onto eBay to find it now. So every time I went looking for it, it kept bringing me back to eBay. So I went and looked at it on eBay, and the original version of it is, I believe now, $139 because it's so old. I've seen them up to that price, I'm sorry. And it's, wow. And for the thinlits that come with it, which are like paper, like they're really, really, really thin. That's why they're called sizzlets, I believe they're called. They're really thin. So they come with those, and with the alphabet and the number one. And for the price of them now online, they're like $12 and up for these things now. It's, wow, I can't believe how expensive they are now. So, because I was looking up the actual machine, and when I couldn't find the machine, it kept pulling up the sizzlets and the dies that come with it, or that you can buy for it. And the only place that you can buy them now is on eBay and stuff. So, and they were pretty expensive. Smaller, but easy enough. Alright. I know I'm like yammering away here and stuff. I'm just making sure that I have enough of every paper. So, fold that. It's really big enough. Pretty even, pretty even. here. Alright, so I have enough. What's enough for now? Another thing too, guys, save your small pieces of scraps, your little tiny pieces of scraps like this, and ones that are maybe like this size, things that you won't really do much with, that you're pretty much going to like toss out, anything that's like small like that, save them, because I am going to do a video on what you can do with them, which would be to take all your scrap pieces of paper and you can make your own handmade paper out of it. I'm just waiting to actually get the proper screen. I was doing it before, but the screen that I noticed that I had to drain the paper was taking way too long. So the paper took way too long to dry, and it wasn't coming out the way that I wanted it to. So I do have a lot of handmade paper that I make. I just, like I said, I'm not too happy with it, so I'm waiting to get another piece of screen that's a little bit more defined the way that I want it. Alright, so let's move on here. This video is going to take forever. But I'm just going to use my sticky tip. Nope, I forgot to score first. As I said, I apologize that I'm not yammering or talking here, guys. It's just, when I do, if I do, then I end up losing track of what I'm doing. And I hate doing that. And I'll just keep yammering on and won't even get into what I'm actually doing. I'm just trying to show you a video of a mini book. It's almost, yeah, it's a mini book, I'd say. But I'm calling it the Autograph book. You know, I'm sure there's been many of them made out there. Tons and tons and tons of them. As I said, I didn't watch a tutorial on it, so I don't know. I'm just doing it because it was something that my mother had suggested that I do, and my daughter had suggested that I do. Alright. So I'm just quickly scoring them. So I'm just scoring them at like half an inch or whatever the size is that you want for your page. You might want them big, you might want them small. I'm going about 3 inches. That's how big my pages are going to be. Which I believe the book is 3.5, something like that. You can go however big you want, or how small you want, it's up to you. I've also heard too, it might be Zanero that I heard it from, I'm not too sure. I can't remember, to be honest with you. I've heard that if you wipe your hands over your paper, any paper that you're working on. If you wipe your hands over the paper, it makes it easier for your bone folder or your, whatever that little tool is that most people use when they're doing scoring. It just makes it go across easier, so it doesn't stick so much. That's what I mean. Like, I'm going across it like butter right now. It's going so smooth. I thought I was. To do that. Some of these are really quick, but they'll turn out straight when I put them in the book. I only need 3 anyways. I'm doing 3 signatures. So, yeah, they're quite small. Oh, I went the wrong way, that's why. Oops. I went the wrong way. That's okay. Oh my gosh. That's okay. Even though I scored it, I can cover it. It'll be covered up with paper. It's not a big deal. Beautiful already. I'm trying to remember which way I was supposed to go here. Oh my goodness. I might have to redo these guys. I made them too small. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? Oy, oy, oy. That's, I guess, what happens when you don't measure perfectly. Quickly, we'll do that again. And we'll take the proper measurements. I apologize for that, guys. I'm so sorry. Just go there. And just go there. So that's going to be my color. We shall see. Not a big deal. I know, I could have measured. I don't care to measure. I know whoever's watching this is probably not making your book the same size I am, so not a big deal. Alright. Moving on. There we go. That was quick. Quick and painless. Alright. So it's going out that way. So now what you want to do is take the measurement of everything, which you know. My screen went black again. Sorry, guys. You want to take the measurement, which you know on your book, your binding, is 1/2 inch. Sorry, 1/4 inch, I believe. God, I moved everything in this table. Purple. Oh my goodness. I seem to have lost my ruler. Okay, so now, yep, 1/4 inch. Okay, so you're gonna, when they're folded, they're 1/4 inch. When they're not folded, they're 1/2 inch. Okay, so that's why I said score them at 1/2 inch. I'm not even gonna get into that because I don't want to confuse you. You're already beyond that. Okay, so you know they're gonna be 1/4 inch. So you want to measure that score bar that you're going to make at 1/4 inch, because that's where your paper is going to be folding. Alright, so I know exactly where that is. I don't trust the marks on my scoreboard to be accurate. That's why I use my ruler. really do feel the difference when you don't rub your hand across the paper. You feel the difference. Come on, come on, come on. People waiting here. Let's move on, shall we? I'm going to get I have a corner chopper now, guys. My mom gave me a corner chopper. And I love it. It's so awesome. So instead of me having to go buy one now, I have one. I've got 3. It's only because I'm doing 2 pieces of cardstock. That's why it's fussing with me. Sorry guys, that's so funny when it does. I'm easily amused. Oh, you didn't let go. There we go. I laugh every time. Alright, now we're moving on to the taping line. The rubber is forward. Now, just going to fold them over to create more pockets, because we want some pockets. And look at that, I forgot about that. I told you it's going to be long. I take my time. One of those cheap balloon tape things. I don't think I trust it. I'll just stick to my double-sided sticky tape. And I put it on the wrong side. Damn. Dummy, 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 dummy. It's alright. It's good that it's thick cardstock. Actually, no, I did have that right. Goodness. Dooey. I did have that piece of tape on the right spot. Because I need to attach it to the book. Oops. I know, I should have cut that properly. I know I've already got it on the book binding, but I'm gonna add more just in case. Just in case. Hopefully, don't bite. Come on. That's right. Never mind that. I'm tired. So, the way that I do this is instead of going on top of it, which I've learned, when you try and do it the normal way, it tends to not go straight. So I've learned to do it this way instead, because it goes on straight. I don't know if anybody else does that. That's how I do it though. There we go. It's a fair-sized pocket. Fair-sized pocket. But you gotta remember, there's gonna be pictures and stuff put into this. Actually, it shouldn't be that size. Oops. that was actually on the wrong side. But that's okay. I don't mind. I really don't. I think that's cool. Oh my goodness. That's why. Oh boy. I think I need to go to bed. You guys are probably yelling at me. Yep, you screwed up, Sherry. You screwed up. I know. That's okay. Good thing it's not that great of somewhat great. Not bad. Double-sided sticky tape. I mean, it's gonna rip it a little bit, but hey, I've worked with it ripped so many times it doesn't bother me. I just go right back over it with tape. I know where I messed up. I know. You don't have to tell me. I know. Let's try that again. I can tell it's my first time making it, eh? No. I know, you guys are laughing at me. Put it right up to the end and push your binding down hard. Why does my screen keep going black? You want to burnish it, then you want to peel off the other side of your tape on your book, your binding, I mean. I'm trying to remember what the heck I was doing here. You know, I should have normally had this done in like 20 minutes. It's really not that hard to do. Even though I've never done one before, it should not have taken me this long to do this. And I'm just realizing that my book is too big. Quick fix, quick fix. You can fix anything, pretty much. If you really, really had to, you could. can always figure out a way. And because of my massive screw up that I just did figure it out. There we go. Pewterless. You and I are going to be the only ones that know what I screwed up on. Not a biggie. Because you won't notice it when the book goes together. There. See? All that mess up. I did all that mess up. And it turned out fine. Now all I got to do is trim that because I did realize that I made the book a little bit too long. It's because it's going through 4 pieces. Beautiful. That's okay. That's okay. Not a big problem. As I said, I just made it a little bit too big. Sometimes I do great when I make stuff. I don't have these issues. Not all the time. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Just gotta work with it. Right? Right. Now, just debating on whether I want to fold that in or just cut it off. I think I might just cut it off. What are you doing? What the heck happened there? I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Why are you sticking to that? You shouldn't be sticking to that. You're not supposed to be sticking to that. Why are you sticking that? You just completely screwed up my damn thing. You butthead. Wow, guys, this is like a real mess up. But you're seeing it. Not a big deal to me. We all screw up sometimes. Not a big deal. This came up and it shouldn't have come up. Because there's a piece of tape stuck here for some reason and there shouldn't be. I don't know why it did that. Where do we go? There we go. I'm just trying to get that tape off. Don't know why it's there. It shouldn't be there. There we go. 1 page done. Pretty much. I think I want to do a fancy cut. But. See that? I fixed it. And it looks better. And it lines up. See? Perfect. Alright. So you guys get the idea of that. I think I'm going to stop the video because it's taking way too long to do this. And maybe I'll come back with doing the finishing touches on it. I guess I should. So maybe once I'm done putting it all together and everything, then I'll come back and I'll show you guys exactly what you can do to finish it off to make it look even better, like a rock star kind of thing, or like I said, baseball if you have son, you know, grandsons, doesn't matter. You can use it for anything. Any kind of autograph book. Movie stars, you know, actors of any kind, singers, dancers, musicians. So many things that you can use it for, especially for your kids and your grandkids. You know, even for college students and high school students, and when they go on summer vacation, and, you know, when they're camping with their parents, or, you know, you go camping with your parents and you meet a bunch of friends through the summer, you know, you have a little book that you can get their autograph, their information, you know. That's the kind of thing that I'm kind of going for, mostly for the young. Now I will, as I was trying to say before, I will post, once I'm done with this, that there are options. If you're an adult that wants one for, say, if you go to a country concert, you know, or a book signing, anything, you know, those kind of things for an adult. I can alter the book to any way that you want. So I'll put that post up when I'm done with the book so that people have options on what they want to do for an autograph book of any kind. It's an autograph book. That's why it's an autograph book. And the reason why I'm making pockets is so that you can add more. Maybe you take a couple of pictures, you want to add some pictures in there, you know, concert tickets, baseball game, football game, hockey game tickets, you know, stuff like that. So you have a place to put all of that, so you're keeping the entire thing together. And it's something that a little girl can maybe keep in her purse, or her parent can keep on them. So it's not very big, you know, it's not bulky or anything like that. It's just a perfect size for a kid to go and get autographs with, you know, even at school. End of the year, you know, some kids might be leaving from school and going to another school, you know what I mean? So they have their autograph, their name, their information, you know, that kind of stuff. Like it's a multiple use book, you know, for any age, for adult, college student, kids. It's so useful. So yeah, you get the idea. I don't have to finish it. I just wanted to show you a quick tutorial on how you can do that, so you kind of get the idea. And when I'm done completing the rest of it, of getting it all together and doing the photo mats and everything like that, then I'm gonna do a video or just take pictures and I'll post them on our group there. Yeah, so you get the idea. As I said, cute little book. It's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's adorable. So yeah. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, yeah, keep an eye out for the second half of this. Okay, thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you so much for your support. And to all of you that wished me a happy birthday yesterday, I'm so grateful for that. I thank you so much for that, guys. I love you all, and I've come as far as I have so far because of you guys, because of all the support and the strength that you guys have given me, and I appreciate that very, very much. I wouldn't be where I am right now without you guys. So thank you very much for that. I love you guys. Thank you.